for life.
Here is Austra, the lands of sunrise. As any other place, it has a long history of great highs and deep lows. Empires, infighting, coexistence, upheaval, and culture. The last century has been a seemingly stable time, with the world focusing more on turmoil elsewhere. But some 40 years ago, Aethertex breathed motion into inanimate stone. It created new modes of transport, new whole ways of life, even brought us up and away from the planet to step our first steps on Baals. It also led to the creation of colossi, fearsome battle machines, capable of striding over battlefields, only truly threatened by each other. They haven't been battle tested quite yet, but tensions are rising. Welcome to Tensile Breakdown, a charity live stream segment focused on big machines, personal exhaustion, and sad epilogues between good friends. I am Halcyon, he, they, and I will be facilitating this segment. I am joined by Kai.
Hello, I'm Kai, she, her.
Alice.
Hi, I'm Alice, also she, her pronouns.
Ghost.
Hi, you can also call me Ace. I'm going by he, her right now.
And Cindy.
Hi, I'm Cindy, and she, her.
Cool. So, Tinsel Breakdown is a tragedy game for two pilots, written by Gins Haltzeis. Hey, that's me. We'll be playing a series of smaller games, the outcomes of one building into the next. However, this is a game about war and violence, so we will be straying into being more explicit about those things. This is not a place of honor. I expect maybe a bit of gruesome, maybe a bit of nasty, and so on. But before we get to that and everything, it's important to remind everyone that we are here today to support Trans Lifeline. If you have spare funds lying around, a spare mansion with 7 rooms that you can sell off quickly, you should go to roleplusbond.com, the easy to remember website, and you can support our charity drive, donate to Trans Lifeline. They do good work, and make the world a better place together. With that in place, let's start thinking about our first game. Not everyone is going to be playing in every game, because, as I said, it's a 2-player game. So for the first one, we have Kai and Ghost. And let's start with figuring stuff out. Where we are, who we are, what are we doing, and I guess even more importantly, what do we wish to not see in this game? As you know, once again, this is a game about war. War is horrific and traumatic in many ways, that some of which we may want to avoid while playing this game, but also which might be thematically appropriate. And the examples I've written in the book include violence against civilians, children, animals, injuries and gore, various kinds of discrimination and othering. So, Kind Ghost, does anything pop into mind that should be immediately banned?
I think we can leave kids out of this.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I think eye stuff as well.
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
The rest of the body is fair game. The eyes, and honestly, mech eyes, okay. It's people eyes because they are soft.
Yeah, cool. And if anything comes up that turns out that we should step away from this, then we can step away from this. Call for a pause. We'll step back, see how we feel, move around it, and rebuild.
For sure.
So, before we can start tearing into each other, we need to figure out who we are.
Look, you can't
For
tear
the
into somebody if there's nobody to tear in.
yeah, exactly.
I could
So-
turn into a ghost.
Have you ever fought a ghost before?
Well, you will after today.
That's yep.
Right. So, step one, we need to figure out who we are as pilots.
All
There's
right.
a whole section here in the rules about setting up the towers because this game is originally played with tumbling tower blocks. We can't use those online. I have tried in many ways. None of them are fully satisfactory. So we will be using a system that uses rolls of d10s and counting along every number that comes up. Once a number has come up 3 times in a particular tower, be it body or mind, game is over. We figure out how that ends. But yeah. Since we're skipping that part, let's go into describing ourselves. As a pilot, we consist of 2 important things: a name and 3 notable traits. For the players, you can scroll down, and the suggested notable traits are in the. There's a picture for that. Of course, the last item on the list is something else. You can always come up with things of your own. But, take a moment, look them over, and then we'll see who we are.
I like the adjective combos of some of these that we're that we're getting here.
Yeah, I love the idea of irate mementos.
I'm very tempted to take it, but if you are also interested, I will not take it from you.
See, what I was thinking for 2 of them. I was thinking of a combination of shameful jacket and proud sidearm.
God damn it! I wanted shameful jacket too. So I'll take a. Oh, but wait, aloof ear. I'm gonna make those irate earrings.
Irate earrings. That's really good.
You all are also game masters in the Roll20, so when you make drawings and texts, everybody should have access to all the tokens and whatever. That's just going to make everything easier because then I don't need to be the one moving drawings around and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just here to save you labor. I see how it is.
Yes, collectivism.
Revolt! Revolt, my fellow players!
Okay, I'm gonna take the space on the left.
Take space on the right. Proud sidearm and shameful jacket is basically the opposite of Echo, so I think I'm doing it right so far. Well, confident shorts is really funny.
It's those kinds of shorts that you need to be very confident to be able to wear.
Oh, I just thought I was thinking they're shorts. I was thinking they're shorts that turned you into one of those those Pokemon trainers first few routes. The kids. Really short. They're fantastic, and they always send their level 3 Rattatas with such confidence, and then I just take their lunch money because I am a cruel person.
What did I say? I said irate earrings.
You know what? I like the idea of ponderous supplies. Plenty of supplies. They just take forever to get there.
Yeah.
am I looking at stream to remember who the heck I'm? Perfect name, no notes.
Of these names.
You know, we'll talk about what a shameful jacket looks like in a second. I want to let my buddy get all her traits done.
Did you take confident shorts?
No, I chose ponderous supplies.
Oh,
So if you
okay.
want confident
Alright.
shorts, be my guest. I think it'd be a shame if nobody took ponderous shorts the entire stream.
Honestly, yes.
There's so much potential in having shorts.
I don't want them to be shorts though. Oh, confident.
Hot pants.
Well, I was gonna say confident cutoffs, but it's like cutoffs. They're like it's a flight suit, but the legs are cut off, and the arms can be worn as a jacket, or they can be like tied around your waist in like the most like unnecessary. Yeah, the most unnecessary way.
So what you've done is you've taken a perfectly good flight suit, chopped off the arms and legs, and then worn it as clothes.
No. It still has long arms.
Okay. You just chopped off the leg.
Yeah, just chopped off the legs.
Okay, cool. So you've only made it mostly useless.
I run hot. My legs rarely. That's why I'm confident. That's why these are confident cutoffs. I don't need the warmth that the long leg provides. That's not for me.
No.
Or the splash protection from acid.
Or gasoline, or
Confident.
flight suits for
confident
like loading.
legs.
I mean, yeah, but that's why you're confident. I think you've got this.
Yeah, I got this.
I'm
Are
totally
we?
not. I'm totally not putting down your legs as one of the things that might be at risk at some point.
Oh, for sure. Who is it that insured their legs? Some like glam star.
Yeah, I've heard of these
Had,
clauses,
yeah.
or at least someone definitely insured their butt.
That's definitely one.
That's another one I've heard.
That's definitely one way to get life insurance, I guess.
Yeah. And then we describe, or like, do we need to go over this, or
I think we should also just have a little go over. You know, you've chosen your traits. What does it look like? What does it mean?
Sure.
Let's start with Novadine.
Novadine. I'll be playing Novadine Pentecost because legally distinct from Pentecost from Pacific Rim. Legally distinct. Totally different character. Goes by V for pronouns. And for traits are Proud Sidearm, Shameful Jacket, and legally, yeah. Proud Sidearm, Shameful Jacket, and Ponderous Supplies. I just really like the idea of somebody who has a lot of supplies at their call. They just take forever and a day. Because my favorite situation in this kind of sci-fi war story is like the expeditionary force who has a lot of firepower in reserve, but they're like hundreds of light years away, which is why the heroes have a fighting chance. That is my favorite villain.
Titanfall.
Yeah, like Titanfall. Shameful Jacket. Why are they ashamed of this jacket? That's a really good question. I really thought that far ahead. But I also haven't played enough Absolute Bastards recently, so the Pride Sidearm is definitely a badge of office. They're definitely proud to be here to be fighting this war for now. with that in mind, I think the shameful jacket reminds them is from their civilian life, is from words is from their civilian life.
Oh,
Something V brought from home that V is kind of obligated by the bonds of family to like wear and keep around, because like you don't throw away the ugly sweater your mom gave you. That would be rude, even if she's never going to see you wear it. But V is not happy about it, because V's really proud to be in this military right now and to be where V is right now. And this jacket is a reminder of when V wasn't that.
mm-mm. I have a question. What's the other form of that pronoun? Is it like them, or
I'll post it in the let me. You go. I'll remind myself how pronouns are conjugated real quick.
okay. Okay. So I've got Perilla Phosphoro. I need to find that accent because I never remember how to type it on a Windows keyboard. She is called Star Regnant. Like, it's not a call sign; it's a rank of of the nobility kind of thing, or it's definitely not her military rank. She's got, I'm going to start with the confident cutoffs because I know what they are, and I kind of describe them. It's basically the standard issue, like flight suit, jumpsuit situation. I want to say the colors. I'm looking at this orange backdrop and thinking about Star Wars, and I shouldn't just make it orange. So the closest thing to that, I guess, will be some sort of like safety yellow, which is appalling. I hate what I've done, but they're cut off, like nice and cute. But the arms are still long, as I said. She does tend to wear the sleeves, like to wear the top part, like open with a t-shirt or whatever. Rebellious hair. She gets away with a lot, I would say, in terms of like having made uniform into cutoffs. So I'm not sure how the hair is rebellious. I guess it just rebels against what she prefers it to do.
What she preferred to do.
Yeah. Well, I think she prefers that it have like volume, it kind of like swoosh, and do that kind of fun stuff. I don't know, is it curly? No, it's not curly, because what it does is it, like, no matter how much, product or effort she'll start the day with, a few hours in, it's just kind of like lank. It's just kind of flopping. Very, very depressing. I am describing my own hair, actually.
Yep.
Which is why it's always up in a bun, because it doesn't matter if it's kind of flat or somehow looks greasy after an hour. Yeah, so I'm not going to be that cruel to Perilla. It doesn't, I don't think, grease up that bad, but it just flops, and it's never, the sort of glamorous volume that she hopes for. And I imagine it gets in the way a lot. Like, that's a rebellious factor in the rebellious adjective there. The irate earrings are, I think, similar to Pentagost's like shameful jacket. It's like a family thing. These are like a gift, maybe like a great grandfather in the service or something, and they're not like uniform. It's not like a uniform element, but they're the kind of thing that would be accepted in a uniform. But she's got that feeling of why, like why do people always like connect me back to that, or and so she kind of wears, like, it makes her angry to wear them, but then it also makes her angry to not wear them and like deny that kind of deny that connection out of a wish for like convenience or something. She's not happy with it either way. But that's good, I think, for this story.
Yeah. Clearly, this means we should team up against our families.
Maybe. Very possible.
I think that's the only correct way to do this.
Somebody turned it into phosphoro for me. Thank you. Okay.
Cool. Right. So next step is we need to figure out our mechs. But there's a lot of things you can think about your mech, but what matters is what your enemy thinks about your mech. So switch sides and describe each other's mech. Both what name your side is giving it, what name to fear and stuff like that, and also 2 prominent features. Again, there's examples below.
Oh boy, that's fantastic.
Okay.
And you are free to invent your own fancy additions.
My favorite kinds of games are the ones that let me determine what my fellow players have. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
So this is fantastic.
Yeah, I can reveal that this game doesn't come to life, doesn't exist without Dread and Starcrossed. And Starcrossed also does this wonderful thing where half of your character sheet is defined by the other player. In that case, it's specifically what they find, what one character finds attractive in the other. You don't define that about yourself. It's perception. And similarly, the way a mech is a threat isn't defined by what the mech brings, it's by what the others fear.
From the chat, traits: weak baby mech. Weak little mech. Not good. Prone to blowing up.
Crybaby.
Shoddy crybaby. Oh boy, yeah. My favorite version of this, and this will surprise absolutely nobody who knows me, is Tank Candle.
Oh, yes.
Where you
Uh-huh.
determine your virtue and your vice.
Have.
You determine your virtue and your vice, and then you hand one of your virtues to someone else, and you hand your vice to somebody else, and you get 2 back. And nobody knows who they're playing until the day of. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I love that kind of thing too, because creating characters always feels really hard for me. So when I get to think of things and then give it to someone else and get stuff from someone else and then synthesize, that feels so much more accessible somehow.
Yeah.
So I love, 2 prominent features. I feel like that
How do you feel about choking speed?
choking speed.
Yeah, we'll find out what that means.
Okay. It's wicked fast, but the G forces are nigh intolerable.
They make everybody else choke instead of you. I can change it if you want. I'm just throwing adjectives and nouns together as I usually do.
I think it's workable.
Okay. I'm also really tempted to give you booming speakers because that's very funny.
I would not really know what to do with those, so I would appreciate a different choice.
Yeah. Well, you don't want speakers that fire missiles. Booming.
That kind of boom.
Speakers that just explode.
Yeah, speakers that just explode. Yeah, they boom.
My soundtrack turned down for what?
My soundtrack is literally fire. As in, it will set you on fire. I love that enviable paint job is on here. Like, we can't win this war. Their paint job's just too good. They've got those sick flames on the side. One of their mechs has a cool van wizard. How are we gonna beat that?
Right? You're going to beat them on the battlefield, but they will win the propaganda campaign every single time.
Every single we like our soldiers can't bring themselves to harm the cool paint job. It's a real morale hit to have someone just that cool on the battlefield.
I don't know why I've done this, but I think maybe you have an inexhaustible reactor.
How do you feel about being a ghost?
I'm sorry, about being a ghost?
So okay. I don't know how much World War II history you know.
Well, it depends on what the context of ghost is.
But the Intrepid, the USS Intrepid, was occasionally referred to as a ghost ship because it kept surviving things that should have sunk it.
Oh.
So I'm gonna give
Is
you
that the name or is that a feature?
I'm giving you covered in past damage to represent that. And I'm going to think of the name a little bit, but that's where I'm starting with for now.
Cool. Oops.
I do like having an inexhaustible.
And disconcerting movement.
Do you know how much Lancer we play? You know
I'm
how
sorry?
many weird. You know how much Lancer I play? How many weird mechs with weird movement? You have given me a gift.
That's
I
good.
am so
I
excited.
wasn't sure if it was going to be like, I'm so tired of these unique, weird movements.
No,
like,
I'm
give
excited.
me
I
a
was
bishop,
born for
straight diagonals.
this. I need to move exclusively like a bishop or no dice.
No moving parts, only wheels. No legs.
Oh.
My mech's got tank treads, but isn't a tank. I don't know how it does. I don't know how it uses tank treads in space, but here we are.
You just roll upwards.
Yeah. You just, it's troll logic. You just sort of like put the other tank treads on the side, and then you roll upward against each other.
Oh yeah, just right into space on a rainbow.
So these things are called colossi, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Colossus singular, colossi plural.
Mm-hmm.
How's that? How do you feel about this as a mech name?
I can't see it because my screen is a little bit zoomed out. Phantom stalking stars. Ooh, that's great. I am having trouble moving beyond Behemoth. So, and I don't even think that you're specifically that big. Oh, I know. Dragonfly.
Moves by breakdancing. Excellent. Good.
It's a capoeira mech.
Okay.
Excellent.
And I guess now for the most difficult part of character, or at least what feels most difficult to me of setup and creation. Hey, let's talk about the nature of the war you're part of. We have a generalized map, no names currently, no borders currently, and we get to define a few of those things here and now. We also have to define who our respective sides are. figure out why your side is fighting, how the side sells it to the people, and once these things are in place, we get to choose a full name and a short name. And there's a that's not here. Okay, I'm just going to put this in the Discord. There's also a list of suggested faction names.
Oh, some good faction names. I'm here to play just an absolute bastard. Just the worst. Or at least somebody who's fighting for just the worst and absolutely proud of it.
Are you maybe feeling like some sort of imperial conquest?
Or
or something much, much pettier?
Maybe. I'm just looking through the names and seeing which one calls out to me, because I don't think straight empire, hegemony, kingdom. Those are like the typical bastard names.
I like kinship for mine.
Oh, kinship's really good.
How
That'll be
about
the short
Rechtsstaat?
Don't know what that. Not sure.
It's a legalistic state.
Fair enough. Okay. I don't
formed
know
by
enough
the
German
rule of
to
law.
not be a little bit worried, so. I think collegiate is really funny. Yeah, my local university is moving in. They've annexed my territory. You know how it is.
School
We all-
districting gets real.
You know how
Yeah.
school
real
districting
tense.
is in the States? Like, come, it's fine. It'll
And
be
now I have to retake Citizenship 101.
Oh god, I was joking about it, but now I really like collegiate. Just the worst academics. What if academics did a little imperialism as a treat? You know? Collegiate mech ball, oh no. I'm also going to give Novodine a title now. V's going to be Provost Novodine. Provost from the collegiate. Shush.
I finally looked at the stream chat, and I am seeing a really great Gregnet bit from Lofty Inclination. Thank you.
Am I regnant?
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. I see a lot of continuation of this beautiful bit, which I do love.
I am marking points for that. Remember to check your bingos.
Which one are you marking for that? Hold
on. The bingo was you, right? Like, that's kind of your brainchild. Yeah, that's very funny.
Yeah, the bingo's a really good idea. As for why the collegiate is fighting, you know how in the Victorian era, scholarship and natural philosophy and developing the sciences, especially anthropologically, was inherently tied with imperialism. I'll take your silence as a yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Intimately.
I am basically taking that to a logical extension of that's how this entire faction operates. We're fighting because there is something. We're fighting here because there is something we think is interesting to research, and there are all these weird people in the way, and they need to not be in the way anymore.
Great, you're playing as the British Museum.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The British Museum, but if the British Museum was also the British Empire.
British Museum.
Yeah, but the British Museum isn't in control of foreign policy. It's like we put the museum in control of foreign policy.
Okay, fair.
It's not Queen Victoria. It's whatever. It's curator Victoria. I don't know. Yeah, no,
Man.
I'm here to play absolute bastard, man. Absolute the worst.
Cool. Can we hear a bit about the Union of Steam Lineages of the Southern Wastes?
Yeah, they're called the kinship for short, by themselves and maybe by other people. There's maybe a ruder name, but I don't know what it is. I would like to think that we're looking at this world north down. So it's right there, like the two stars. Well, I can ping the two stars that I just encircled. Yeah, nice. They are kind of like maybe the center of the territory. And it's what is it structured like? Oh, damn. Clay Mayhem, I did not even think of that. I was like, I don't want to do east. I don't want to do west. Everything's north. Oh, god damn it. You know what? I'm from Georgia, and I have to remember that more. Okay, it's not the Southern Wastes. It will be something else. Hmm.
Well, there's a mountain there. Or a elevated area.
What's a word that's not plains?
Meadows, prairies, steppes.
Kind of like steppes. No, I just like
Expanse.
land. It's a lands is a little bit simple, but I think it's fine. Now, okay,
Tableland.
have I accidentally made a bad acronym? No. No, I haven't. Okay. Good.
What, you don't want your acronyms to be swear words?
Well, I don't want to accidentally spell like something bad as like fully unintentionally. So the like they've got it like right in their name. The important thing is the um like the noble families. It's not necessarily that like one is always on top, as with most of these kind of things. There's a lot of like jockeying, but there's also more formulaic, not formulaic, more rule bound like rotation or representation of different lineages. I don't think that there is room in their like laws for like a king type situation. Although of course there's always going to be people like, but I think I will kind of hold on to this power a little bit. I'm doing a pretty good job right now, so I'm just going to keep doing it. I've been training my daughter, so that she'll get it right. Like, yeah.
Yeah, heirs trained personally by the monarch have never been terrible.
Yeah.
No, not once.
Yep, that's a great idea. I think
France who?
Yeah. I think you could also take the freehand drawing tool and just draw your borders. That would be great.
Oh, okay.
Very
Cool.
much up to you.
I've never heard of France. I don't know what a French Revolution is. Where colleges live? You know where really good, crappy colleges live? They live on islands.
I don't know what's going on right here, but I don't have it.
I don't know what this place is, but it ain't mine. Oh god. Those are some nice islands you have there. It would be a shame if I were to have them.
2 islands. Wow. 3?
Yeah, this little archipelago here. I think we can safely call that mine because that's where all my boats are. You can't be an empire without cool boats. That's one thing history has taught me. I've tried
All
very
right.
hard not to draw the Sus Among Us guy, so if that ever happens, I'm sorry.
I applaud your restraint, but I do not know what you're talking about.
Live in blissful ignorance for me.
Thank you. I will.
Excuse me. Big yawn.
Okay. So I
So,
think I'm good. Yes. Choking speed. I'll figure that out in play.
right.
I'm sure.
I guess this is a very clear cut. The collegiate is, hey, you have stuff. We would like it. And the kinship is like, no. So we probably don't need to go into much detail why the kinship fights.
Look, just this would all be solved if you didn't have cool stuff to put in our museum. Just stop having cool things. Just give it here. Give me. I want it. I'm a little surprised that you've completely missed Among Us.
I have a very bad computer.
That's fair.
I have a great monitor, a very bad laptop, and just haven't had a good computer. Probably a good computer to my name my whole life. Like my work computers are acceptable, but they're also not like trying to run games. So yeah, I have a sense of like they are the little cylindrical weird goggle situation. But yeah, all of the surrounding context is gone, or is just was never there. Just lovely. Someone has drawn it. Thank you.
Happy to help. I'm happy.
Okay.
Now you'll always have a reference.
Okay.
So,
I see you filled in the why we fight, and I haven't done that. I'm zoomed out far enough now.
But I think
do you have a why we fight beyond because we attacked you and want your cool stuff?
Well, yeah. I mean, after a certain like this is a very proud kind of society, so I think like there's an attack and there's defense, but then there's kind of like, oh, you're gonna try that? Like,
yeah, you want to go?
Those islands are pretty close. They could be ours, and sounds like they should be.
Gotcha. Excellent. Hey, we only want to take your stuff. You want to take our territory. That makes you the bad guys.
the batter guys.
That makes you the badder guys.
So, I think we're good with our setup. So, playing. Play is structured in clashes. A clash is a series of maneuvers and attacks centered around an object at risk. To refer to those, we'll be using these. You can see these little tokens with 5 rings and a line.
Cool.
The idea is that if it's your turn, and we'll proceed in sort of larger turns and smaller maneuvers within those turns. If it's your turn, if you have initiative, you will define an object at risk. It can be something that you have. It can be something that the other player has. There's also lists of example objects at risk at the end of the PDF. But basically, write down a thing that is the object at risk. As the person pursuing this objective, you have to take the first go at it, and so you use freehand to mark the first. Hold on. There was a way to log these. Well, we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just move them to the map layer. But yeah, that's probably the best way. Layer, map layer. There we go. So, and with the freehand, just mark, I have done this, and whenever if your opponent takes their turn, sure, do that. Keep going until either all 5 are filled, or somebody says, you know what, I'm backing off. I am ceding this ground to you, so whoever is the last one to actually perform a maneuver gets to also define how that object at risk is won and or lost. But every time you do a maneuver, and maneuver is a good name. I should use that in this document. Every time you do a maneuver, you also roll 1d10, and you define whether this is a physical maneuver, and therefore putting your body at risk, or if this is a mental maneuver, putting your mind at risk. Which defines basically which column the results will be marked in, and when any of these gets a number to its third appearance, game is over. Either something in your body or something in your mind can no longer bear the pressures, breaks down. We go into an epilogue. And yeah. Once again, the first move is mandatory. At any other point, you can always just say, nope, you can take this. You can take this clash. I'm stepping away. Cede the ground. Any questions about this?
No, but I would like to say, Carter, do at least wait until I describe my mecha's dance. Patient. I haven't danced yet. Jumping the gun. I don't have any questions.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
In that case, who is the last player to have piloted a mechanical vehicle?
I drove a car about 12 hours ago.
Okay. Bicycles
That's
also count.
Still more recent than me. I didn't bike. I haven't biked since yesterday. So.
All right. Well then.
Okay. Well, I can't put your legs at risk yet. Look, that's gotta be like one of the last. We'll start with the strategic position. We'll start. You know what? We'll start with a good old landing. We'll start with Beach Sigma. We'll start with a good old Norman. I think Beach Sigma is. Do I write this? I write this the blank space on my side, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Ooh, I wonder, do I have a token that can represent a clash, or do I need to upload one?
No, that text is huge. We're not. Don't mess with giant text here.
Beach Sigma grind set.
The Beach Sigma grind set, yep. There we go. That's all better. Beach Sigma is
excuse me.
You're excused.
Thank you.
So remind me to. I promise I was to roll. How?
Slash roll 1d10.
It's just 1d10.
Yeah.
Mark a tool. Mark a little bit of a tool.
Right. Is this a physical exertion or is this a mental exertion?
To start with, this is physical. To start with, it's
Okay.
To start with, I have to act. To land on the beach, one must land on the beach.
Fair.
So this is a physical exertion to get on the beach in the first place. And I just keep rolling. I keep rolling, or do we?
No.
And I can. Sorry,
Yeah,
I can
okay.
test.
So initiative passes over. No, not initiative. Maneuver passes over to Peril.
It's the L's are like an L.
Okay,
As far
Peril.
as I know.
Sweet teas are really.
Do you engage in? If so, how?
Yeah.
Yeah, come at me. I just took your beach. What you gonna do about it?
Is this something where I can? Well, let me say it, and we'll see if it's fair. The beaches are mined, so after a certain point, like, there is like an obstacle that we have prepared, or is it personal? Like I need to be doing a thing.
That isn't it. I love.
Sounds fair. Yeah. Preparation is also a type of action.
You know.
Okay.
This one could be actually more mind because preparation.
I think so. But I guess this is my question. Am I now like making this my own thing over here?
We are
Okay, it's still
filling
Beach
in
Sigma.
Beach Sigma. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I
You'll gain
will.
your chance to try to take my stuff.
Oh, and I will.
Roll 2. Roll dang.
I
think
I would enjoy that, but okay. Oh, thank you. You got my 10.
Man, it's really hard to lock onto. A mech that's really hard to lock onto and find firing solutions for is one that just it's never where it's supposed to be. I love the name Dragonfly because it gives me a very good picture of a mech that keeps defying physics by pretending that G-forces don't exist when it comes to acceleration. And
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to be rolling mind here as well, because what I want to focus on is how this movement is how Novadine's movement just means that none of the firing solutions work. You just can't hit them with the auto targeting, and V is allowed to just get through the defense, get between the guns and through the defenses, and do their work. Do for work. That's gonna be a 3 on.
Keeping
right.
order.
To the Provost, GeForce is just a type of graphics card. That's it.
Okay. So to defend the beach, no, not just defend. To push back these invaders. We're going to, I think, we're going to use that choking speed. I know that, like, as a main character, there's something special about me and my mech. So I don't think that the others, or I don't think that, like, there's people in similar kind of like mechs by my side. But like there are other people kind of like assisting in the like the, what is it called? Like the pocket sand kind of trick. Like we're,
Obfuscation, concealment,
yeah, I mean,
interference.
with, yeah, like with the speed that I can bring to bear with Phantom Stalking Stars, I'm like whipping up a screen. And then the other like troops with me, probably they are like more straight up like single individual people on the ground, or like something like that. They are taking advantage of that to like, I think it's also related to that preparation where we've got somebody like where we like had the sensors ready to let our people make use of this obfuscation. So we'll see if that works or if the sand fucks us up good too.
Roll difficult.
Oops.
Roll tech plus difficulty. Ooh, good 7.
Okay. And that's body.
That's definitely
for
body,
sure.
yeah.
Here's the thing about an inexhaustible reactor. I can play the long game. I can just wait you out. Me, like myself and my troops, we can just hang back and we can let y'all waste your ammunition on quick-built fortifications, and we can just wait. And your mechs will have to go and get refueled and get their power supply fixed, and I'll still be here to ruin your day. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this a war of attrition. But you can have your fancy screening trick. You can have your fancy maneuvers, but no, I'll still be here in 8 hours, in 24 hours, when this battle still isn't. That's my plan. That's a 9. I think this is a 9.
Sure, yeah, that works.
Because, like, yeah, it's about, like, physical ability and what you can bring to bear, but it's also about, like, who gives up first.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And since Beach Sigma is mine now, I think it's you that gives up.
That is true.
Yep.
As the person holding the objective, where did I write this? I definitely wrote this. But yeah, as the person in control, you you get to define how the outcome of this specific clash looks like.
I think it's pretty simple. I think what happens here is pretty simple. We get a beachhead and a forward operating view on the beach, and become an. And
Yep.
it will now be. You'll have to deal with us here before you can deal with us there.
So where did that take place? Like, I have my guess, but where are you picturing it?
Oh, excuse me, sorry. See, I think there's a decent answer, which is like it happens up here near the islands, but also there's a really funny answer where it happens right here by one of the cities.
No, that's great. That little tiny island. Like,
That's
Yeah.
lovely.
oops, we weren't paying attention. We thought it was the Nothing Island.
Turns out you don't let your enemies have naval bases 5 miles off your coast. What? Weird.
Okay, good.
Do you have a name for that city, maybe?
Yeah. Well, I say yes. No, I don't. Absolutely not. Chat. Have fun.
Yeah. Go nuts.
But
Chad,
as for
you have 4 minutes to think of a name, or else I'm giving it one myself.
oh, that's nice.
Give them time for the delay. They've got like a 30-second delay or something.
Okay, 4 minutes and a half.
There we go.
But that's not going to be my next target. So there's some time. Good one, Cindy. 4 minutes and a half is actually a pretty funny city name, but
City McCityson, great. Good. Okay.
terrible. Call
I
for a
forgot
divorce.
we're asking a bunch of friends of the table fans for city names.
Dougburg.
Duckburg. Oh no. I'm not calling it Duckburg.
Poop. Apparently I can't make polls here. Oh well.
That's fine. I can establish my next. Oh, you know what? I kind of like Awake for a city name.
Oh, that is a wonderful city name, yes.
Awake's a good city. One can be awake and the other
Okay.
will be asleep. Excuse me.
They just escalate. It's like awake, wide awake, buzzed, vibrating. No, I only have the 2 cities now that I see that.
One of the cities is called Groggy. Haven't had my coffee yet.
So I think what we are going to aim for is not this, sort of place over here. What did you write OJ?
No, I wrote Awake. It's just small.
No. In the black letters, maybe Halcyon wrote it.
What?
Is it a sigma? Oh, I see. It is just a little chop out of the.
It's a bit of territory.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little.
Yep. Now I can see that. I had to zoom in pretty far. Okay, but what we're doing is let's see. You use your ships to pretty good effect. And what we have in the way of ships is very, very weak, I think. So we've got like our very small force like focused on getting out there stealthily to just like scuttle your whole situation, especially in this oops, I did the wrong button. Like in this, well, I just added 2 little dots. That's not what I wanted to do. In this sort of like offshore area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a stealth mission to fuck shit up. I think 20 is going to be way too big. Stealth. I'm going to call it stealth scuttle, even though I know that sounds like something else.
Look, it's fine. We don't need our boats, right? Yeah, we don't. Look, we don't need boats. Who needs boats?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
walk across the water. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. On top, underneath. They'll be fine. Yeah. So gonna roll that. I feel like this is I think it's the not the planning stage, but it's the initial execution, so it's more of the mental side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh boy.
Duplication.
Oh boy, that's a 9. That's a 9 on the mind track, baby.
Whoop.
I'm so excited for this game to end.
Excited. I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
I think it'd be funny.
I would love that drama. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I first played Her Servant Death, which is like the king for the queen style thing. When you draw a king, you die and you keep playing. My very first card was a king.
Fantastic.
Oh, wonderful.
That's incredible.
So I had the whole game on the death prompts, and it was like very funny. I mean, the game was not funny. The game was very sad and emotional and good, but I feel like the second person or the third person also got a death very, very quickly. But yeah, anyway. So, how do you defend against this magnificent stealth?
How do I defend this magnificent stealth? What if a mech was a submarine? What if a mech was a submarine? You know what I'm saying?
Is that you?
What if you were on your way to scuttle these things? What if there was a mech under you? And popping out of the water to cause chaos in the middle of this stealth mission. Ow, my foot.
That would be a disconcerting movement.
That would be some pretty disconcerting movement. I gotta roll mind here because these are some mind games that are happening.
I mean, all submarine warfare is mind games.
All submarine warfare is mind games, even when only one of you is a submarine. Are you kidding me?
What is it? I looked away.
Are you serious?
You may not.
Oh,
Are you
hello.
serious?
I hate it.
Oh my god, I was joking.
Oh,
I
ooh la
was
la.
joking.
Well, let me read you the rules.
Yeah,
When either of these towers falls, the game is over. If the body tower falls, whoever last touched their body, mechanical or personal, is disabled and the battle is lost. If the mind tower falls, whoever last touched it can no longer gather the will to fight on and the battle is lost.
Yes.
So,
okay.
Once that happens, talk about the aftermath. Whoever lost has the final say over how the battle ends. Do you survive? Do you return? Does someone take your place? The other player has final say about what the ongoing effects are. Do the frontline shift? Does propaganda change? How are you both remembered?
Oh boy. I mean, look, this is so early in the war. Probably the Pentaghost is just replaced. Pentaghost is replaced, easy peasy. But
What happens to her? Like, is it
yeah,
like
that's the question. Like,
vulnerable?
what happened to Pentaghost? Well, so okay, so we also lose this. We lose this fight. Hear me out. I'm gonna make a proposition to you. Pentaghost is proud of her position in the army, and you get to be this level of proud and this level of dedicated to the cause by not accepting your own failure in a lot of ways. And I like the idea that the ships that the platoon, the people that Pentaghost was fighting and scaring, were all a diversion. And like midway through, like after a few minutes of these scare tactics, midway through, off in the distance, there are, to us, there are very quiet explosions as the bulk of the collegiate's fleet gets sunk.
Yeah, that's great.
And, this was the bulk of their war effort. Like, the war's not over, but, Pentaghost, that's a pretty big thing to screw up. Neocane Hexaspirit takes her place, yeah. But yeah, that's a pretty big thing to screw up. That's something that gets you stripped of your rank and sent back to make something
Freshman
with
year.
that jacket. You get expelled.
Ooh,
Killed or worse,
Brutal.
expelled.
Yeah, but I think V's kicked out of the military has to make something of that jacket instead. That's and V is not happy about this.
Okay, tell me if this is too mean to you, because one of the things that I am responsible for is like how we're seen. Like how are we both remembered? There are like from the side of the kinship, like the songs start immediately about like the foolish pilot on the other side. I don't know that we know your name. But on your side, like after the sting is gone, like there's absolutely like mocking drinking songs or some kind of thing about like
What shall we do with a dragonfly, Jester?
yeah, something like that. Like yeah, it's like V becomes an object of like not exactly scorn, but definitely ridicule, like
I
verging
become
on
Yankee
scorn.
Doodle.
Oh, great.
No, I love
The
that.
ongoing effects, I think this gives a like with the boost of confidence to the kinship and the like the the hit to confidence that the collegiate takes. I want to say push we push into this big island with the city on it.
Mm-hmm.
So despite despite the inroads that you've got over here, close to Awake, there's a lot of movement toward whatever this little city is called on the Big Island.
Yeah. I have no idea what the city is.
Yeah.
Chat,
As
what is
for
the big city
how-
called?
Yeah. Chat, name the collegiate city.
The Collegiate City.
Oh yeah, because there is just the one, at least star wise.
We're not a
The
big.
no, not big at all. As for like Perilla herself, I think she's going to get like recognized for like for actions in that particular battle. And probably that sort of thing like promoted beyond her competence, where like she doesn't really know how to lead and strategize at a higher level, but by doing so well in that battle, like the perception of her skills was like falsely elevated. So yeah, like there is nothing happy. I'm looking at irate earrings again, and it's absolutely something that brings back in that like not just from her actions, but also her lineage. You know that well, what did I say? Like great grandfather or something who served before, and it's like yes, the honored so and so. Oh, his great granddaughter. Great, bump her up a few. And so like that makes like that really like gets her grinding her teeth.
Oof. Yeah.
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 Campus.
Campus.
Wow.
That's really funny that happened.
That is fun. We did call that down on ourselves.
We did.
Very foolish. Absolutely foolish.
Well,
Okay.
This just means more people get to play more games, obviously.
Well, with like more like the last game does not necessarily have to be crunched. So like in that spirit, I'm going to mute and
Yeah,
like,
we
keep paying
should,
attention to it.
at this point, we should go for a little break. And we'll be back with game 2 in 10 minutes, which would be, well, in 8 minutes on the half hour.
Awesome.
Have fun.
Enjoy the tunes. And welcome back to Tensile Breakdown. We just finished a surprisingly short, but also kind of expectedly short game. And for game number 2, I'm joined by
Hi.
Alice and Cindy.
Hi.
So, new players, new rules. Are there any changes to content we want to exclude or include? We are still working with let's leave the kids alone. Kids don't deserve to be in this war. And we were working with no eye stuff. Are these still in place? Anything to add? Anything to remove?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, I think I'm also good at those.
Cool. As usual, if anything comes up, we can always pause and work on the content as it appears. But that aside, here's your friendly reminder. We are doing this for charity. We have gathered $833 already, and it's just
Wow.
3 games in. Shoutouts to Anonymous for giving $50 a while ago. Shoutouts to Chris for $8 saying, have fun with the, checks notes, many space MRI machines. Going to sleep now. Good job, Chris. Chris, famous from previous years of not going to sleep, this year went to bed on time.
Character growth.
That's character growth, right? That's a character arc. Speaking of characters and arcs, what do we want to do with our people here? We talked a bit behind the scenes, and the big vibe is a little bit of a time skip. We're not picking up exactly where we left off, but before we get into those details, let's figure out who are our principal characters in this battle.
I have spent the last hour thinking of a name, and I have it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll be playing Poetry, Honesty, Discovery, also known as PhD.
Nice.
I
Great.
love it.
Yes. Yeah. Are you taking left or right, Alice?
I'm taking
Right.
right.
Okay. I'll go with left then. Yeah, and I think my character will be Fierce Purpose.
I love these names. They're just wonderful.
And then let's get the traits. Also, which cheeks are we referring to with ponderous cheeks?
Boo. Bad joke. The only one I want is the stalwart mask. I want to be wearing like a helmet all the time.
Mhm.
Don't have dibs in the other ones just yet.
Okay. I think I have irate mementos. Seems like a fun one.
I'll get strict insignia then.
A shameful jacket. Is that a jacket that someone else would be like, oh, that's shameful? Or is it a jacket that yourself like are ashamed of but wear anyway?
I mean, it's very much up to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
previous game had a shameful jacket in that I am ashamed to wear, but I will wear because obligations.
I think I'm gonna go shameful jacket in the sense that other people think it's shameful. I like. Oh, I think this character is a bit of a mess style-wise, you know?
I'll get proud sidearm. That's my last one then.
Coming together very coordinated.
Hmm.
I'm not ashamed of a single jacket in my closet. All the jackets are as they should be.
Hmm. What does gratified mean? I sort of know, but I also think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with gratified bandages. These are wounds that they are proud of, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So I should put pronouns in here.
Oh yeah, I'm going with they them.
Think.
A very important thing about my character is that they do not cry.
Okay. In contrast to our previous game.
I have to show the stream that I have the range. I can both cry and not cry.
The two emotions.
I only have a bingo square for Shadows next game, not reference to previous game.
I think Fierce Purpose uses they and they pronouns.
Nice. All right.
You should do an overlook about
Yeah,
our
yeah.
characters, right?
Can you bring the traits together into a description?
Yeah, I'll be playing Poetry, Honesty, Discovery, also known as PhD. They, them pronouns. I think they are from, if not the same faction as the Collegiate, descendant of that faction, whatever came next. And I think the name PhD is a bit of explorational. Very much meant to be a college person, to climb up the ivory tower. And they went and did it. I think PhD is the best of their class, always has been, graduated with honors, and is now doing a bit of a master's, which does include fighting the war. They wear a stalwart mask, which is a full face helmet. I think it has a screen over the face. Does the anime thing where they project emojis and little faces, but it's usually just like underscore hyphen underscore hyphen. That's the default one. No cat faces. No woo-woos on the screen. Yes, that's the face. Strict insignia, proud sidearm, just... I think both of those were given by the collegiate. I think the strict insignia might be straight up from their laurels from when they graduated the bachelor's.
Ooh.
So I think it's kind of... your academic accomplishments are worn as if they were military ones at this point of the collegiate. And proud sidearm, probably also the best in their shooting class. Very reliable. A bit exasperated with this whole thing, just wants to get their papers done. Whenever they aren't fighting, they are multitasking and also reading a paper they have to read for college while inside the Mac, that sort of thing.
Classic.
Yeah, that's PhD.
Okay.
That's PhD.
I'll be playing Fierce's Purpose, use they, them, and they, her pronouns. I think they're a bit of a edgelordy type person. I think have like large spiked hair that is like painted, I think pink with some green to it as well. Nice combination. I think they're wearing a very ostentatious jacket. I think it's a patchwork jacket a bit, but it's of yellow denim and see-through fabric and the most tasteless thing you can imagine, really. I think has a lot of has wounds over there, has some wounds and stuff. I think, but it's proud of those. I think also has tattoos emphasizing their wounds and stuff. And also I don't know. Sometimes there's a wound and it says from the college son of a bitch I killed or whatever. That sort of stuff. Also has some irate mementos. Which are what are those? I think they're insignia from previous pilots they fought and won against. And yeah. I think that's basically it.
Why is the jacket shameful?
It's other people consider it shameful. I think it's also most people within the faction are a lot more I don't know, normie. And like they're like, okay, you don't have to be that extra and stuff, and they're like, it's not shameful from them. They love it, but other people like think it's shameful, you know?
So if you're not normie, are you telling me that fiercest purpose is a goth?
A cough. I don't know.
Various ways not to be normie. You could also be a Kingdom Hearts character with massive shoes and many, many belts. Just don't know.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess we can move on to the mechs. In
We
which
make
case,
each other's
reminder, you
mech.
can define each other's mechs, including a name that your faction calls this opposing mech, and what are the 2 traits that make it prominent and maybe formidable.
Yeah. Do we want to do each other's max, Alice? Or?
Yes, that's how
Okay.
we play
You
the
should
game.
you should be
Yeah.
doing each other's.
Okay. Hmm. I did not think of a Mac name of France, so.
I have a small list that I did if you want in preparation. I
Ooh.
might
Ooh.
name your the Bloodhound,
Okay.
especially since you're like still wearing the bandages and very much.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
and Irate Mementos, it gives me Bloodhound's vibes. How do
I
you feel
have
about
an
that?
yeah, I like that. I think I have a name for yours, which is the final exam.
Lovely.
So good. Yes, thank you for this gift. Okay, bring the. That sounds so good.
Unfortunately, now I have a song stuck in my head. Du-du-du-du.
God. I think the final exam is wait, I lost it. It's just looking at the thing and I don't know where it is anymore. No. I think it's jarringly fast. Yeah. Oh well.
Going with the shameful jacket, I feel like I want either shimmering with shields or enviable paint job.
Sorry, which ones?
Shimmering with shields or enviable paint job for you to match the jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the jacket is more shimmering or enviable?
Enviable depends on your taste, you know? But I do think it's shimmering, yeah.
Okay.
All the sequins.
I think they got the like nice like DLC upgrade for their jacket that made it like shimmer, you know?
And I like the fast mech versus the shield mech too.
For the second one, I'm thinking either blades that glint or advanced materials. Should you prefer there?
What was the second one?
Advanced materials. Yeah.
I like advanced materials.
Okay.
I think I even research advanced materials.
Hey, this fight is a bit of research, but not on like tactics or anything gauche like that. No. You're researching how good your own mech is.
Do you want choking smoke and hollow projectors? Is that fun for you?
Oh. Yeah. That works.
And that's a 2 for 1.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like the idea of you in your shimmering shields inside of cloud of smoke.
Taking yourself to like 10 meters to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. These are some impressive war machines. I guess it's time to finally commit. What is the history here? How much time has passed? And what are your factions? Are they the same factions? Have they changed names? Have they acquired subsidiaries? What's the state of the world?
Yeah, so the thing I was thinking about was that a part of the kinship seceded from the larger kinship, and they basically, what's the word? Became
Joined?
part of, joined the other empire that was to the south, which I need to come up with the name for, but you know, you can do that now. But that was the general idea. As for time, I. So, Alice, how do you feel about this still being sort of the same conflict in a way? Like, it's just
I
a
like
different.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to iterate on the name of the college. I want to keep bullshit colleges, maybe universities instead.
Yeah. So, in terms of time, I guess this is like. I don't know. I wanted this to be like 20 to 50 years, I would say, somewhere. But know how the rest of you feel about that?
I think like 30 is good. 30 is sort of the period of time where most people who were involved in the previous conflict are still alive, but they're probably no longer anywhere near doing the conflict.
Yeah. So I'm gonna redraw some borders.
Yeah. New borders, new borders.
Yay! More borders now.
That's what the world needs. More borders.
Oh no!
But look, it's a purple border. That's by representation. Um, I want this to be a chunky thing. We'll do that. And this is gone.
Oh, that's a big place.
Yeah. And ooh, wait, I have an idea. What if they didn't join the Empire? What if they were just acquired, you know? What if this is
Sure.
like mega corporation that just owns like
Also, like economically acquired.
yeah, economically acquired, yes.
Whoo, strong moves. I love it.
I'm naming it the Society Universities of Humane and Inhumane Sciences.
Oh, that's
I love
lovely.
that they're doing both.
Yeah.
Um,
Contempt.
yeah, what would the name be?
Inhumane Sciences is when you study max.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I'm majoring in Inhumane Sciences. I'm not an anthropologist like Ghost characters.
You know,
I'm
the
s-
inhumane sciences it's mostly aether tech, but there's also theoretical aether tech and you know, stellomancy, crypto. This is on crypto in recent years. Both cryptography, cryptozoology, and crypto mining.
What's a good name for an awful corporation? Giant awful corporation?
Surname investment.
Yeah. What if it's just purpose investments?
Oh.
What if I'm like, you know, maybe I'm not like the direct heir, but I'm in there, you know? I'm in that family.
The 17th in line.
Yeah.
I have already established that I do love an heir.
Oh god. I just realized that all three of my characters for the charity stream will be heirs, but whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna be humble. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the island and then a space station.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take a piece of land and put it into space.
Nice.
But yeah,
No, that's
this is
science.
also a subtle reminder that when the ether techs put motion into inanimate stone, it allowed people to go to the moon, to bubbles. So, you know, that's always an option for a battleground. As is your space station.
Oh, wait, of course, we also own part of the moon. I forgot. I think we own this part of the moon. That's also ours.
You mean the dark part?
The wizard part.
Yeah. I mean, that was like, you know, the cheapest to acquire at the moment. But we're looking at expanding.
Okay, so we have factions. We have why are you fighting? I guess part of it is an inherited conflict, but is it reframed recently?
I think it is reframed in the sense that we are like, no, we bought this. Look, it's here on paper. You know, like this is our legitimate property. We bought this. You can go against private property. That's just like the most precious thing there is. There is nothing more. You know.
You can in name of science.
No, science does not go above commerce. Okay.
Mm,
Private property is the most holy thing there is.
Science, though. We need to study more things so we can make more medicines and or weapons. I'm the inhumane sciences, so that's mostly weapons on my end, but
Look,
I've
if you
heard
want to
people
acquire the land
innovate.
for your sciences, you could like you could come into contact, but you know, or maybe we can work out a lease agreement. But like, this is our property. You can't just take it.
No, but you see, you aren't using properly, so I think it's a human right for humanity, you see, that we do explore these resources and yeah, make progress. It's better for humanity as a whole, you see.
I hate it so much. Please never stop.
Yeah, you cannot properly use these natural resources. I'm seeing that, so if you don't mind, I will invade and take these plants.
Whew. With that spice on the table, I think we should figure out who has, which of you was the last to pilot a mechanical vehicle.
I haven't driven a car in 6 months because I'm in another continent.
I drove a car last week.
W.
That will be you. Well, the world's your, well, not an oyster. It's more like some kind of weird crab.
Crack it up and slurp it in.
Go. What do you want to fight for? What do you want to threaten?
Hmm. Um. So. Yeah. So we don't have a space where this conflict is taking place yet, right? This is just like you can say wherever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Hmm. Do I want to hit first? I think. Yeah, I think Fierce's purpose is just going to start with like, basically like trying to like destroy a research base that is in the like occupied land. You know,
A research base. That's where
that's
science is made.
it's an unlawful research base, and it is actually our property, so we can do with it whatever the hell we want. And so yeah, we aren't doing anything wrong here. Um, yeah.
Just piling up the clash spots.
Yeah.
Okay. Research base. How do you want to approach the assault?
So I think it's just like I think Pierce just starts with like approaching the area like sort of secretly, you know. It's is that the style? Not really. I think it's just like ooh wait. I think they are just like dropping from like I don't know if it's a spaceship or a very large like they're dropping from space or from a like big aeroplane or something.
Suggestion.
Yes, go ahead.
A zeppelin.
Ooh, yes. Okay. Oh yeah, I think this is just like an advertisement sampling from the purpose investments. It's just on the side reads like sign up for the war efforts. Unlimited unlimited pay time off, you know? That sort of stuff. Um and yeah, I mean free pizza. And I think yeah, it basically like jumps down onto this research base with like clouds of like choking smokes like flowing around them, you know?
Yeah.
They're covered.
Sure. Roll it. Does this could be either. This could be a body or this could be a mind thing.
I think this is the body thing.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's go.
Yeah. That's a 5.
All right. PhD. How do you respond, if at all?
Yeah, I think I was at the research facility researching, you know. And I had my helmet off, was looking at vials and mixing up chemicals. Sigh at the sudden attack. Was really in the middle of something here. Put on the helmet, walk to my Mac. No running, no need. My Mac's fast enough to make up the difference. Yeah, and then I think I'll just go, and as soon as I enter my Mac, it jolts towards the Bloodhound as fast as one can go. I think it's just a clash. I have my Mac's made of sturdy materials that I'm certain will survive the clash, and it is as fast as any other Mac. Yeah.
Shoulder charge. Shoulder charge.
So body 2.
Cool. Fiercest purpose. Your response.
Yeah. I guess you body check me then. Like,
Yeah, I think I'll open cons and say, PhD here, please leave the research base. There's important research being conducted right now.
this research is unlawfully being conducted on the property of purpose investments. Please leave, shithead. And I think like they fell over because of this, you know, or laying on the ground. And I think just and I think just like try to like swap down your legs with their legs, you know? Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah. That's a body again, and it's a 4.
Even for now. No danger zones yet.
Yeah, I think the final exam jumps back to get away from the attack. Please take up any issues you might have with the dean. There's paperwork for this sort of situations. I am bound to protect the research facility. Yeah, I think this is just gonna be body, sort of punchy battle because we don't have projectiles. I don't think so. I don't.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
anything that isn't defined, you can still have. But
Mhm.
the prominent things are the things that are written down. You could, but also you can just say that your mech doesn't have projectiles on it at this time, at least.
Yeah, I think at this time it doesn't. It's just punchy. So let me roll another d10. 8.
Yeah, and I think for my latest move, I think has actually been a thing that's been happening all this time, which I think this research base has a lot of like agricultural stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the camera cuts away at this moment, and you just see all these plants like basically like being like how do you say this, like dissolved in like the smoke that is like hanging around here, like
Oh, your smoke
Oh,
is acidic.
yeah.
Ah, nasty.
Like all these plants are just being destroyed. I think people who are like on the ground like are like coughing and stuff, like you might not have taken a lot of damage, but this recent page sure has. Like,
yeah.
um, and I don't know, is that body or mind?
It could be either.
I think this is mainly mind because, in a
Yeah.
sense, the research facility is still there. It's just like, you know,
The research isn't.
yeah, the research isn't, and also it's kind of an awful thing to do to people. Like
This is definitely a terror tactic.
yeah, this is yeah. And that's a 7.
Look at the plans, sigh, collect the researchers in my mech, and then I think my mech as good as disappears because it flies up.
Cool. Yeah. Your sister, you may describe how. Okay. Oh, well, technically you have. Right. Describe how your last last maneuver in the clash achieves your goal. Well, we know.
Yeah.
Cool. Initiative over to Poetry, Honesty, Discovery.
Yeah. What do I want? Let me look at the list of things to compromise real quick. I think we've been doing a lot of strategic positions. I kind of want to do a standing and connection one. I want to do some PR.
Ooh.
Mm, yeah, I want. Does it have to be Mac medals all the time? Can I just go to the press?
Oh, you could absolutely go to the press.
I want to go to the press. Yeah, standing on connections, I think it's. Yeah, generally the press, like public opinion.
Yeah. Public opinion.
Yeah.
What is your maneuver?
I think PhD is in a very smart suit, still with the mask. Still proud, strict insignia and proud sidearm, but very fancy suit. And the national television of the Purpose Investments, they got an interview with someone there. I think they're just a very well-spoken person, and it is about something sciencey originally. They were like invited in as a consultant, and now they're talking about how really capitalism can only survive if we do enough research to evolve and progress, and automation and research and new inventions the way to go. It's really in the best interest for everyone.
Yeah, truly the only problem with capitalism is that it doesn't do enough science.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a mind. I do think it's a 10.
Yep.
What are you gonna do? Shoot me? I'm on TV. You can't do that.
What are you gonna do? Shoot me? Person who got shot.
I think, yeah, Fierceness just happens to be in the same studio as this is going on, you know? And, like, somehow, like, yeah, it probably gets word that this is going on and just puts into the studio and it's just like, you should have. And, like, just burst in and it's like, look, we all understand the importance of science within capitalism.
Oh boy.
But
Folks,
that is
folks,
hurt you as
role-playing.
much as it hurts me, so dude, it's terrible.
Folks, role-playing
Yeah.
is a discipline that lets you embody characters that you would never be in your real life. It is a challenge of imagining alternatives.
yeah. But I think his purpose is just like, but that research happens within our R&D facilities that are appropriately budgeted, and not just the unequivocal aim of our corporation. We strive to deliver on investments and on returns of investments. We don't get obsessed with science. Science is just a tool towards that purpose. The fiercest purpose, by the way, is profit. Yeah, and I guess that's also in mind.
Yeah. It is definitely a mind exertion for us here.
And that's a
Ooh,
7.
oh
A 7
hello.
again.
Welcome to the danger zone.
Ooh.
Right. So, as a small aside, two things I want to note. One, remember, you can always concede a point. This is fully fine. And thing number two, it also doesn't necessarily have to be a moment to moment. You know, this whole public opinion battle can take place over weeks. But
Yeah.
you know, go on.
Yeah, I like it taking place over weeks because public opinion is one long haul. So I think afterwards I'm gonna do a tour in Awake showing my Mac the final exam and how advanced its materials is and how fast it is. This is science. So I think there is like a big pavilion and I've called the public and I'm taking people on rides in my Mac and everyone's oohing and awing at it. And I'm talking about the materials of the research. I think that's still mind.
That is absolutely still mind. Okay. Okay. Well, that's a turn.
No. Oh. Huh.
Oh no. Oh.
Huh. Well, fuck me, I guess.
Okay, so let's do this in proper order. Thing number one. Right now, we're now looking at the objective risk. Right. The mine tower falls. Whoever last touched it can no longer gather the will to fight on, and the battle is lost. Whoever lost has the final say over how the battle ends. Do you survive? Do you return? Does someone take your place? And what does losing your resolve look like in this situation?
Dang, I was just showing off my mech. I didn't think I'd die now.
I mean, you don't have to die,
No,
right?
yeah.
But are you
Huh.
bought in? Are you suddenly bought in on the whole capitalist project?
Maybe someone offers me a research grant. And I just sell out. Yeah, maybe someone from Purpose Investments just say, oh, hey, this is actually a really good material. How would you like to work for us? And I'm like, sure.
Yeah, if you can't beat them, acquire them,
Yeah. I do not have morals. I just want to do research, so. Yeah, I think I sell out.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I think I even work with Fierce's Purpose from now on. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What are the ongoing effects? Do the frontline shift? Does propaganda change? How are you both remembered? Is there still a conflict even?
I think part of it is just that Purpose Investments now just has like all the tech that Bauxite has, or like a lot of it. And like that's just like evens out the technological advantage and just like, and because they have way more resources anyway, I think this conflict turns fairly quickly if they don't just surrender. Um, hmm. Does Purpose Investments acquire part of Bauxite?
It does have the money for it. I don't know.
Or alternative idea. What if, while this is an effective sort of tool against specifically PhD, it invigorates a fervor in bauxite and actually line shift a different way? No pressure. I'm just giving you the creative tools and opening the possibility space.
Yeah. I do feel like. Yeah, I think. I don't know. How is Bauxite ruled actually? Is it like. Who are the, like. Is there an option for them to, like, sell part of them? Or is this, like. How is Bauxite organized on, like, a. Would that be somebody who is like, oh, yes, I'm gonna, like, sell part of my university to this giant corporation? That will give me tons of money. Or is Bauxite, which the people on that university might not agree with, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's mostly up to you, but my feelings are that they're probably like officially, somebody who owns, like, say, the island near Awake doesn't have the authority, but also, like, physically, who's gonna stop him?
Yeah.
And maybe just creates more contested areas where, like, we bought this fair and square. Yes, but from somebody who was not in a position to sell.
Yeah, I do think that purpose investments requires that island and like whatever research was happening upon it, or at least the fruits of that research, I guess. So yeah, that's the ongoing effects of that.
Yeah, dang, I really thought it would take longer.
Yeah,
I guess that's what happens when you don't have morals.
I had such an awful comeback for you, but then you just rolled a 7.
And you just give up.
Yeah, I was gonna go with a talk show, goddamn.
A talk show. We missed out. Well,
We can be a team on a talk show even now. We'll go on the great fat quiz of whatever year this is and be a team. We'll be great at it.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the classic enemies to comedic duo pipeline. Okay, but with that said, I think we're done for the moment. We should take another quick break, and I guess see you back here again on the half hour.
Yeah.
We are hitting this. We are hitting this schedule. Yeah. Be right back.
Bye. Eli.
And welcome back. We are playing more of this thing. Oh, right. New page, new history. The viewport should probably move on.
It's fine. I just have to. They can't lose a third time in a row, right?
Not on the mind.
They can't. Look, we can't lose to mind a third time in a row, right? Right.
Statistically impossible.
It's just not gonna happen.
Right. Yeah, but on the other hand, everybody knows that academics have weak minds.
Yeah, which is why they're academics, because their minds just don't do anything.
Cool. Well, so I think we can just get on to our bullshit.
Yeah, let's start with our BS.
As a small reminder, hey everyone, we're doing a role-playing game, but not just for fun. We're doing it for charity. You should probably go follow the link in chat. Toss your money at Trans Lifeline, because what else are you going to do with your money? Develop advanced materials? I don't think so. Yeah. You know what? I've been sitting on a name for the entire stream, and probably a few days before that. That name is Kanta Vengeant.
Good. Love a good name that includes the word vengeance. Vengeance is important, which is why I'm going to get vengeance. My name today is 37.
Oh, that's cool.
Down there. God, what traits? Traits just 3. Because so, here's my pitch.
All right.
If you'll come with me on this journey. I
am in the back of the cart. I'm waking up from blackness, and you're saying, "Oh, you're awake." I'm on the journey.
But here's my pitch. This is again some unspecified amount of time in the future. But now the Bauxite Universities are the R&D branch of the investment.
Okay, they've been subsumed. Interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's time for a good old-fashioned revolution.
I'm on board.
I think it's time for a good old-fashioned revolution. So I'm gonna name my faction real quick, if you don't mind me skipping ahead.
Sure. We know how it goes. We can now start hacking the game.
Look, we know what we're doing. That means we can ignore the rules.
Exactly.
We're just, we're just the Bauxite Group R&D now.
Ah, yeah.
But we don't necessarily want independence, but we do want creative independence. We don't want to be able to decide what we research.
Okay. Speaking of going on journeys.
Yeah, I'd happily. I've taken you on my journey. I will follow you on yours.
Right. I'm taking your hand. We're walking onto a boat and setting sail into the swamps of revolutionary infighting.
Mhm.
The investment group has had a hold for a long time, but its hold is weak and frail and decrepit. It's old and falling apart at the seams as it is. I am interested in playing a faction who, instead of being interested in maintaining the what was the name? I already forgot. The in purpose. We're not championing the purpose banner. We are a separate group seeking full independence, and we will take you along on it. You will be forced to secede. is the position here?
Uh-oh.
And that I would. I guess I'm using my also one of my favorite terms from that I learned way years back in Europe Universalis.
Yeah.
We are the particularists.
Oh my gosh, my favorite type of rebel, the ones who are just rebelling to rebel.
No. Particularism is in this case understood to be local rule instead of for distant rule, and therefore they are interested in shattering the purpose group, and the more bits, the better.
Yeah.
Why they fight? Balkanization.
They took a look at what was happening in the Balkans for the past 2 centuries and were like, that's a really good idea. World War I? What do you mean? What's that? I've never heard of it. That's incredible. I love that. God, the poor city of Awake, doing its best. They don't really care about the local rule thing. They just want 10% more autonomy in every province.
Yeah.
Just like 10%. That's fine.
Come on, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little independence. Just a tip. Just to see how it feels.
Anyways, I'm also going to take this chance and name another city. Because I think the People's Particularist Front works out from this city, which is going to be called Stone Tiller.
Nice.
Okay. Now, the fun part, the traits.
Yeah. The good traits. Boy. Boy. Oh boy. Oh.
I'm immediately going for Eager Eyes and Scarred Voice.
Entirely reasonable. I'm gonna take strict bandages. I'm gonna make that into strict bandage.
Sure.
They don't want to be wearing these, but they've got a medic at home that just is insisting, is forcing them to wear them. But they won't be happy about it.
Mm-hmm. I'm also picking up an ardent stride.
I'm going to pick up. Let's see. Let's see. I think Rebellious Jacket is fun.
Mm.
I'm gonna change that to actually Rebellious Lab Coat.
Fuck yeah.
Love a mech pilot in a lab coat.
Love it.
And finally, what's the last? We'll do desperate. Why not? I think an R&D group mostly just has a lot of prototypes and not a lot of industry.
Yeah,
It all got shipped in from overseas, so they don't have a lot of.
All these guns and no bullets.
Exactly. The 3-7 Brigade has to make do with what they have.
Cool. Right. So, pulling it together, Countervengeant is an agitator. Is a true believer in the shattering plan. Has eager eyes, strides with a confidence and belief, and has a voice that has felt the gentle touch of tear gas many a times.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, my brigade. I think the running story. The running story in the bauxite group right now is that the People's Particulars Front is just looking to be on top of the resulting dogpile. Like, sure, they say they want to shatter it all and balkanize it, but we all know they just want to be the biggest. They just want to lead the empire on their own terms. That's all they want. 3-7 does not care so much if the group gets independence, if the bauxite group gets independence. But I keep dropping this thing that I'm playing with, so I should stop playing with it. But does care very much that they are allowed to do their own, that they are left alone. We have this island. We're done. We're good. Go away, please. We are tired of everybody around us telling us what to do. Go away.
Tired of our shit.
Tired of everybody's shit. And also just is an expert at making do with what they have, which isn't a lot. Sure, the Balkans are a powder cake of fun.
Everybody loves a powder keg.
Everybody loves a political powder keg.
I mean, it just says, a powder keg just refers to a type of matter and a container. It could be powdered sugar.
Yeah, no,
it could be sand.
Powdered, powdered sugar is, it could be powdered flour. Maybe we're baking. Maybe we're baking with flour. Notoriously non-explosive.
Yes, famously safe.
Exactly. Let's make your Mac. I want to make your Mac. I'm gonna make your Mac.
Yeah, let's go make mechs.
I think I'm gonna make your Mac first. Are you cool with that? Are you cool with me making your mech for you? Okay.
I'll trust you this time.
Okay. I appreciate. Um.
Do a reconfigurable chassis.
I would love a reconfigurable chassis. Would you like a disturbing shape?
I would love a disturbing shape. I would love a shape that strikes fear into the heart of friends and foes alike.
So you're a fan of disturbing shape. How do you feel? How do you feel about oppressive size?
Not my favorite size, but I can work with it.
Okay.
If you have any spicier ideas, I'm open to some. But I will accept oppressive size as well.
I'll think.
Do you have opinions about blades that glint?
I love blades in the dark. Great system. Great swords. Good sword.
Well, then I guess you'll get to roll Clash. Skirmish? There's so many versions of that.
What if I surround you with drones then?
Oh, those are fun. Yes. I love having friends.
Friends
Look.
are good.
Look, we apply the particulars doctrine also to our fighting style.
Yeah, it's totally not a metaphor that the mech is the biggest one. It's the biggest one controlling all the others. Totally not a metaphor.
No,
Totally
we are
not.
here for autonomy.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Autonomy as long as we do what you say. I get it. No, I understand.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I understand. Just gonna call your mech the metaphor.
Lovely.
Actually, no. I'm gonna call it the doctrine. I like that better.
Well, fine, then I'm calling your mech the ontology.
Two can play at that game. There's cake in the name. How bad can it be?
On our bullshit. Okay, cool. We have pilots, we have mechs, we have factions and what they fight for. Cool. And good news, you get to start because last time I piloted the vehicle was a few months ago when it was still warm enough to bike.
Well, move to Alabama. Yes, it's like 80 degrees here.
Mm,
It sucks. I hate it. Okay. Where do I? I'm a little sad that I never got to attack my good buddy's legs. That one. I'm a little sad that I never got to attack Prilla's. Does that mean I attack you first?
sure, could be.
Um.
Here's a spicy pro tip from people who play this game a lot, which
Sure.
isn't me, but I like to think of it myself. You can also put your own object at risk, and since the person who initiates the clash has the advantage in that, if nothing breaks, they will eventually win. That is a way to secure something.
Excellent. In which case, I am going to put at risk. Do I start with a place to call your own then? No, I'll do that later. That's really good, but I'll do that later. I'm going to. Yeah, let's hit hard and dirty. I'm going to start with. I'm going to put at risk a critical journalist.
Ooh.
I think who this journalist is critical for. I think we get to whoever wins gets to say how that goes.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna name her Syra Sandstone.
Good name. I love a good Cyrus. Actually, no, I'm going to go a little bit further. I think this critical journalist. I think this critical journalist before the war reported on a lot of bauxite groups are like projects in development. She knows just a little too much, and we want to make sure she's safe and not going to get kidnapped by.
Critical in the sense that has critical information, and not in the sense that is criticizing you.
I mean, depending on how this goes, she may end up criticizing us.
Fair.
But for now, the reason that we want her is because she's critical. Am I playing another absolute bastard? Maybe. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Draw bastards or leave blanks.
Exactly. So let's roll about this critical journalist. I think this first little maneuver is just like she gets a knock at her door, and 3-7 is standing at the door and asking her very politely to please come with us. You're in great danger. I'm so glad this isn't a game where rolling a 1 is strictly bad.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It isn't bad yet.
It isn't bad yet, but that is clearly a mind.
Cool. Then I guess the logical next step is, intel filters through. Nothing is fully secret in the world anyway. And as she comes along, people with guns or implied violence at least, you bundle into your convoy, and on let's say a bridge or near a bridge, there's as the convoy gets on the bridge on the far side, a truck going the other direction just slams the brakes, and the trailer blocks off the end of the bridge, and the other end is my mech comes out from like tree cover, and just declare, please unhand the journalist, through speakers, of course, and this is also going to be a mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is how we play to not lose to mind again, right?
Yeah, by rolling a bunch of mind. Come on, roll a 1. I dare you. Damn.
Your move.
Hey, what if a mech was a sword but also a missile?
Do go on. You have my interest.
One of the rear trucks opens up, and it's I have a reconfigurable chassis and also blades that glint. But what if the reconfigurable chassis was the blade that glint? And it opens up, and it's a little launch pad. It's one of those the launch catapults, and it fires a mech-sized sword that is also a mech directly at you to chase you off or hit you very hard, depending. I mean, obviously, in this case, it's chase you off. It's like we're nowhere near to toppling this body tower.
Yeah.
give the convoy space to breathe and give the troops space to clear that truck.
I think I'm going to take the hint and step away. This journalist isn't that valuable, and I can see the clash too.
Howard.
It's basically, gather intel on the ontology, take pictures, but you came prepared.
Yeah.
This isn't worth it.
No. Yeah, what's this weird, cool sword they have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in this case, I think the Bauxite group Bauxite genuinely has no ill will against Syra. But Syra is also a journalist. I think what happens is Syra gets a platform. Syra's offered a platform.
Nice.
To report on the war under specific conditions to not get captured. I don't think Syra is terribly happy about this, but also she gets to keep doing her.
Yeah. Principles slightly compromised, but not fully upended.
Yeah.
Cool. The front is going to apply a slightly different tactic here.
Mm-hmm.
You can take the public opinion stage for now. That's fine. I think we've established is you got all your fancy tech and you have scarce batteries to run it. So what is the best place to hit you, if not your supply convoys?
I'm sorry, you mean I wouldn't do that. I don't think you should do that.
And I think this specific supply convoy is a train.
You're really just looking for that bingo card, aren't you?
Oh yeah, obviously. To be fair, I also want trains on the table, on stream and on camera and everything. But look,
this is a train.
Look, I have a train area on the thing.
Good train. Yeah, how do you hit this train?
Oh, I know what the plan is. The plan is I'm gonna have to. Yeah. The plan is that my mech is I'm brought in with the whole mech to the train on a transport. Just drop on to somewhere in the middle on a sturdier looking car, and then send my drones out to detach the engine from the rest of it.
Excellent.
I think this is still going to be a bodily exertion. This is a thing that requires coordination and precision in that personal sense.
Yeah, of course. It's like you said, though. Nothing is secret. And
obviously not.
Syra did a little bit, had some time to do a little bit of snooping before we extracted. Independent snooping. She wasn't like a spy or anything, but she is a journalist. And we also have desperate supplies. We only have so many trains. Sometimes we have to turn sometimes we have to use our reconfigurable chassis mechs as trains sometimes, you know? Sometimes a train can be a mech.
Dang.
I think you've got the ontology in a rough position, but this definitely comes more of a fight than the doctrine than Kante expected. So I'm gonna roll mine. Okay, good. That's a 2 and not another 1 or a 3.
Filling up slowly.
Slowly.
We are getting a bit of a build here.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is.
Cool. Yeah. I think this is going to be a bit of a battle of wits for a moment, because it's like, but you see, nothing is secret.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love these two factions as like masters of intelligence and just keep fucking one-upping their stupid plans.
No, it's like, we have decent spies, but we have shit OPSEC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just using Facebook Messenger to coordinate. Or better yet, forums.
Oh god. A shared Google Doc.
Ooh, oh, that's lovely. Yeah. But yeah, I think this is basically as you're reconfiguring, and I'm having to scramble for sort of better purchase and whatnot. It's just like call in my support crew, and from, I don't know, from behind cloud cover, or just out of sight, a pair of gunships flies in and starts laying down fire on you, which I'm saying is a mind roll.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cindy has reminded us this is a purpose doc. Thank you very much. Which, no, fair, understandable.
Absolutely, yes. Here we go into the spicy zone.
Cool.
Welcome to Spicy Zone.
I refuse to roll mind again.
Yeah, sure.
Man, how Saturday morning cartoon do we want to do with it? Not very.
Not very, no.
Yeah, so reconfiguring into a trampoline is right out. But I want you to know the idea was there. Boy howdy. What is this? What does this look like? Just realize you really need this train. Fine, you're gonna shoot me with artillery? I'm going to engage you in melee combat.
Fuck yeah.
I'm going to just get all up in your face. If they want to shoot me, they're gonna have to shoot you too.
Fuck yeah.
Just said I wasn't gonna roll a mind roll. Guess what this is? Almost certainly. I could see how it could be a body roll, but
I mean, it's absolutely a body roll if you want.
But
melee combat. What else is more body than melee combat?
Yeah, but the goal here, and that's where I'm thinking, the goal here is to like call your bluff here. Like, if I engage you in melee combat, are you going to order the artillery barrage to stop?
I see your point. It is, in the end, up to you.
I'll do body. Let's do body. Let's make this last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, but Roll20 does not want us to go long today. Under any circumstance.
Well, regardless, it's not my turn to roll, so you have fun rolling a 4. Or don't.
Okay. I'm going to ask for your opinion in a moment, but here's what happens, right? You get up close. As you're nearing, I do call for ceasefire, but that's besides the point here.
Yeah.
You rear up, you take your blades up, crash down on me, seemingly slicing straight through my torso vertically, and it just folds out, lets the blades pass through, folds back together, invoking both disturbing shape and surrounded by drones.
Yeah, of course.
It is a gestalt.
Good,
Is this
great.
more horrifying or is this more agile? How do you feel about it?
This is a disturbing shape.
Is
I
this
think
this
this-
fucking with you?
No, I don't think so. I don't think in this moment.
Okay. Then yeah, sure. Let's say this is body. This is being. My kung fu is strong. Whew. We are rolling mostly low numbers today, though.
Play continues just a little bit longer.
Cool. And I think with the negating your attacks, my drones that are detaching the engine finish their work. We do fight for a bit, but generally we've achieved our objective. These supplies aren't going anywhere.
Damn it.
And sort of like the more we fight, the more of the supplies get collaterally destroyed. At some point is just, well, I can leave. There's nothing you can get from here anyway, really.
Yeah.
And yeah, actually, we should probably put in some. Train heist was here.
Good old train heist. We love a good train heist.
Yeah. When you heist the whole train.
When you just heist the whole train. And the mech it rode in on. Alright. You know what? That's not cool. That's not cool. That's pretty rude, actually.
Mhm.
Our trains aren't automated. They're come on, man. They're like people there. That's not rude. That's not cool. That's pretty mean. That's pretty rude. I think. I'm in this for some vengeance. We're in this for vengeance and for ending this quickly because we've both got a bigger enemy to fight here, and we both know it. So let's end this quickly. Let's go after your political leadership.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Let's just look. We've both got better things to do here.
It's your turn. What's their name?
Oh boy, I love political leadership whose last name is Stone. Her name just lied. The name that came to my mind was Limestone. Wow. What's a good first name?
Kimber.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway.
Middle name Light.
Yes.
Kimber Lightstone.
I should get myself a new bingo.
Fun fact, Kimberlite is also a type of stone.
I know. It's where you find diamonds a lot.
Yeah. So they still get to be a stone pun. I'm marking puns. on the bingo card. I strongly believe that trains should run on schedule, but no schedule but their own. I don't think that's how anything works. Yeah, so I don't even think that 3-7 brought a mech here. Or rather, 3-7 did bring a mech. What if a mech could be a sniper rifle? No, that's too small. Sniper rifle is too small. What if a mech could be a house? You said they were house sized.
Yeah, they're roughly house sized.
Yeah,
what if a mech could be a sniper perch?
Yeah, exactly. There's a new house on the block. Nobody knows where it came from. You know, it just got built one day. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Ignore the sniper in the window, and the incredibly clear line of sight to the place where Kimberlite is going to be giving a speech soon. Don't worry about this.
Oh, you want to make this spicy? It's a kindergarten opening.
It's a sorry, what?
It's an opening ceremony for a new kindergarten.
Oh, well, now that's just mean.
This is this game we're playing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. This is definitely mine. No. Yeah, this is mine. Don't get seen. Don't get seen. Don't get seen. Don't get seen. Didn't get seen. Whew. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw this new building appear weirdly, like half a block away from this opening. And
why exactly is there a fuel refinery stack in the middle of a residential district? Also, nobody knows. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we don't worry about it. Also, to be clear, there are no kids at this opening to get hurt.
No, of course. This is, this is the financiers, this is the builders, this is press.
Bunch of reporters.
Tons of reporters. Cyrus Sandstone, notably absent.
Yeah, and, don't worry about it.
Oh, this one has to be happening in Stone Tiller, right?
Oh, absolutely. God, this is in the middle of Stone Tiller. Kanto is the only person in this faction without a stone name.
Absolutely.
Which is very funny because the other group is called the Bauxite Group.
Uh-huh. Should have called myself Chert instead.
There we go.
Too late.
Anyway, what you got for
me? I have the classic "Get down, Mr. President."
Get down!
I hate that I'm saying this, but this is going to have to be a mind move. Because, looking around, I'm like, okay, nothing suspicious in the crowd. Yeah, that's a new building. Wait, is that a glint at the top of it?
I do have blades
glint.
That is a problem.
Get down, Mr. President.
Just very bored, very sad. Like,
get up and get down. Whew.
God. Really? Oh, hey, Count is here. That's fine. I'll just shoot him instead.
Yeah, we just, I think it's one of those, you're ready to take the shot, and then, you don't even shoot. Just there's a reaction. Get down, Mr. President. Dive behind the lectern. I'm like, oh well.
I'll just shoot Kanta instead. It's fine. I think it makes sense that this is body.
Yep. No, definitely.
Gotta make that shot. Gotta hit that shot. Oh boy. Mark up that 8. How do you feel about getting shot? You feel good about that?
I would say I feel very much in pain. You know what? I'm going to do a thing where, as security detail, of course, I have uh, a reinforced suit jacket.
Mhm.
Um, I'm definitely gonna have a massive bruise and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's not life-threatening injury. And is just rolling on the ground and just being that we're refinery building. Get people over there now. Just intercoms, and
Sure. Roll.
this is mind. This is keeping a clear head while in pain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh boy.
You got this. I believe in your ability to roll it.
Yeah, sure.
That's not a 2 or a 3, buddy. All right. All right. All right. You know what? Keep him. Keep Kimberlite. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll get him next time.
Message has been sent.
Yeah, the message has been sent. You're not safe. Get him next time. The house lifts off.
Just whoop straight into heaven.
Yeah, the air reconfigures back into mech and bounds off down the street before the big guns can get here.
Yeah. It's gonna take a while to recover. It's those fun things where you don't need to touch someone to touch someone.
No, absolutely. Does the Boxlight group gain ground while their premier mech pilot is out?
Uh, yeah, yeah, sure. I think they do. I think there's definitely for a while there's um I don't I don't even know how ground would be. I guess you do progress your desires in some ways. Uh, Definitely establishing more autonomy, even if not
It's room to breathe.
strictly. Yeah.
It may not. It may not be like literal ground gain, but it's like room. To
Yeah.
breathe.
Political ground.
Yeah. Like we earn a few like token wins and gathers and get some supplies and
Mhm.
make headway in the political sphere.
Um, okay. Um, I'm gonna be the most petty asshole. I have just returned from a restful vacation, probably like 1.5 weeks because reasons.
You're on vacation.
Fervent zealot. But hey, I just had a chance to rest.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna deny that for you.
What if you didn't though?
I am putting your chance to rest at risk, and yeah, just going to initiate a campaign of relentless pursuit.
That's hell. Okay. I guess. I think Kimberlite Stone counts as a weird name plus a common name. Stone's a pretty common.
Yeah. Stone's a very normal surname.
Kimberlite, on the other hand, not so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. The or example that I was thinking for that space was Smack Talk and David Talk. That's the the quintessential weird name
Yes.
plus common name.
The Talk brothers, Smack and David.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. How do you mess with my chance to rest?
I want to say that this happens when I want to say you're like in a research facility or someplace that isn't necessarily in the city initially, but someplace that you're spending like a longer period of time. And what I'm doing is just everyone's favorite tactic: harassment bombing at night, night after night. Use my drones as a you can't detect where the next one is going to come from because it's coming from many sides at once, and just sort of coordinating. Wait, hold up, pause. Do I want to be coordinating? Do I want to be rolling mind again?
Do you want to be rolling mind again, or do you want to be in here?
I think I want to get in the shit. Like, yes, sure, still using like drones for cover and stuff, but a lot of like yeah, you could just move into the bunker and deal with the occasional explosions. But the fact that at any point there can be like thump, 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 steps arrive, take out your generator, and by which I mean reach down, grab it, and take it away. Right? You have to be on alert, ready to get into the mech at any point, basically. So, yeah. Both physical exertion and also I don't get to sleep as well either.
No, you don't.
Rolling buddy. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Good news.
I got
It's
great. Yeah, great.
it's
news.
almost 6:30 for me, which means there's half an hour left. We're now putting in a game 4. That's gonna take long. We can I guess get everybody who's still here back in, talk about the broader history here. But at this moment,
in this moment,
within this moment, during this moment, stalling while I scroll to the section, if the body tower falls, whoever last touched it, their body, mechanical or personal, is disabled and the battle is lost. I want to say this is basically my zealotry catches up to me. I was not in a state to be piloting night after night after being shot with a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Even if the bullet didn't penetrate. And I want to say it's like, night 1, raid, night 2, raid, night 3. I stride in. This time you're better prepared than usual. Blades come down. I'm sloppy, chop off the mech's leg as I'm trying to crawl away and sort of screen myself with the drones. I sort of pull on my controls and just like, my hand doesn't work. And I don't feel my entire right arm. And just like, it takes a while to figure out like, did I take a hit? Did something happen? Did I tear myself? But it's sort of the thing that you see from the outside is sort of dragging myself away with one arm and slowly shedding my drone parts as the mech loses power, as I lose control of it, and there's just like eventually it's just me and the cockpit.
So you get to determine what happens to you. Do I pick you up?
Yeah, I think I'm captured.
Yeah.
I want to say it's mostly though, like I survive. Probably like get traded back in some later prisoner exchange, but I never return to active service. Because I don't know. Maybe I recovered some functionality in my hand, but it is never back into like combat performance. And maybe maybe also the zeal is out.
I stole your zeal and made it ambition.
And does someone take my place? Not really. There's a notable absence in the particularist forces.
Mm-hmm.
How did the conflict go?
I think, despite I think the People's Particularist Front, just by fighting this conflict, gets what they want. This miniature civil war sort of destabilizes the rest of the purpose, and whether or not it was guided by the front, it falls apart. I think eventually. I think whatever happens, Bauxite and the front are going to be major rivals for a very long time because of this. Like major political rivals on the new international stage that is created after the purpose falls apart.
Yeah.
I don't think the front gets very much political power in the new order of things. I don't think
probably not a hegemon.
Yeah, and I don't think the Bauxite Group does either, because like they're not interested at all. But I think there is a new order with so many new conflicts available. I don't think the new order is stable at all.
Yeah. I feel like this would be the case where there's a lot of potential for border skirmishes, but I don't think this devolves into one of those major conflicts where like a whole country gets subsumed. Not for a while.
Yeah. And as for propaganda, I think in this new order, like outside of our two states, who obviously I think our two states like valorize our own pilot and demean the other, because that's how propaganda. But also, like in the broader conflict, these two pilots are sort of seen as like the faces of the faces that catalyzed a new period of conflict.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't think either of us are remembered with fondness.
Yeah, it's we're the Franz Ferdinand and Gavrilo Princip of our time.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody liked it. Nobody liked that.
Nobody liked that.
Nobody liked that.
Yeah. Cindy, if you would like to come in. So, how do we feel? How did the game go?
Hilariously.
Yeah, we had our first non-mind loss. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo!
First non-mind loss for the Bauxite University.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The first non-mind loss and the first time the Bauxites won.
Yeah.
Hey, they get to get a break once in a while. Maybe they can finally refine themselves into aluminum.
I had to give them I had to give them one W. Even if that W is, hey, why'd you plunge the continent into eternal war for the next century? What the hell, guys?
Yeah. Well, a W takes many. A W translates into win, but also war.
Exactly. I gave them a W. I gave them a war.
I feel like they already had that one.
They did. They did. They had 3 of those actually, as it turns out.
But now it's war for the masses. It's a
But now
democratic war.
Yeah, it's a. I'm what I'm calling a war socialist. I think everybody should have war. What is a W if not 2 L's tilted to the side? Thanks, Alice.
Yeah, thanks for that. Cool. Any highlights worth highlighting? Any stressful moments worth venting?
That was great. That was a lot
Yeah.
of fun. I'm regardless of their L's, I'm proud of the Bauxites for lasting this long.
Yeah. I liked having an awful debate with PhD.
Oh, that debate was beautiful. Just the inner pain of having to participate in it. Ah, lovely.
Also, LSGS Purpose and Poetry definitely had a one-con after that.
Mhm.
I think it's very much the old rivals come to see together, enemies to lovers.
Enemies to comedic duo to lovers.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
with my little bastards, I'm just I get to be the worst.
yeah. Huh. War. Not good for people. Who'd have thunk?
No. I think the fact that this is so short and sweet really makes it easier to play just the worst people because
Oh, yeah.
1, you don't have to be stuck with very long, and 2, you're not you're not bringing everybody else down by being.
Yeah. Also, one of them is gonna bite the dust.
Oh yeah. Also, one of them is going to die or similarly.
Yeah. Well, thank you for playing. Once again, this has been Tensile Breakdown. You can grab yourself a copy of Tensile Breakdown over at halcyon.itch.io. There should be 30 copies available. If you want, you can just have it. It is the winter of scarcity for everyone, and so on. We have been, we have been, and we will be raising money for Trans Lifeline. You can go to rollplusbomb.com to toss some dollars, toss some euros, toss some gold bullion, toss some particularist rebels their way, and make good things happen for good people. We've been horrible enough. You don't need to. Shout outs to Rollpulse Bond and everyone else here. And shout outs to Devin and Remus for wonderful, wonderful music.
Yeah. I think during this particular game, it looks like we raised, I want to say 500. I don't remember where we were before. Where were we at the beginning of the game?
That was a big. Someone donated $500, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Small.
Hold on. Right. So shout outs to Ian for donating $500. Saying thank you to all the facilitators and everyone, especially the hosts working behind the scenes to make this happen.
Thank you.
Applause to all, but big applause to Ian.
Ian,
As a big donor.
If you have another $500, I could use it.
Yeah. Also, If you have like
Send them
20 spare rooms or something, I could use them.
Yeah. Look, we'll send you our addresses. You can just send a check in the mail.
And with that, I think we can go into a bit of an extended break here before the next game, which is going to be Worldwide Wrestling RPG. Yeah, I will see you there.
I won't. Bye.